Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, we on? Cool. Hey, what up, y'all? And welcome to the 28th episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold. I go by AT. I go by Dre. I go by Dre Theo. I go by Driggity. And I probably have more nicknames yet to come. But without further ado, welcome to the show. So for all my new listeners, the reason why this show is called Trippin with Theobold is because I be tripping literally and figuratively, right? So I grew up with a speech impediment. It's not all the way gone yet. You know what I'm saying? So I literally trip over my words, you know? So rather than me trying to edit it out or trying to, shy away from it, I embrace it head on, right? I own my flaws. All right, so whenever I mess up or have a hiccup or stammer or stutter through a word, I just say, come on, Dre. And I get on with life, you know? That's what this is about. That's what this channel is about, man. It's about accepting what you got and just moving through life, you know? The show is also called Trippin with Theobold because I be tripping figuratively in thought. I got a lot of crazy ideas, man. I think outside the box. I got a lot of crazy rituals. I do a lot of crazy thinking. So hence the name Trippin with Theobold. But before we move on, I want to encourage y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, because right now I am at Matt Darby number of followers. So if you don't know who Matt Darby is, that's cool. Let me educate you. All right. As y'all can see, I'm a Bills fan, right? And Matt Darby was a safety for the Bills back in the 90s, and he wore number 43. So right now I am at 43 subs. I know it's not a lot, but hey, we all got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get to Derek Holmes' number of followers. So Derek Holmes, was a running back for the Bills back in the late 90s, I believe. Late 90s. He wore the number 44. So tell a friend to tell a friend so we can get this channel up to Derek Holmes' number of followers. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and move. Let me take a sip of my Now or Later juice. Good, man. Let me take one more sip. Yeah, that's it. Let's see what else we got going on here, man. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some promo stuff, man. Let's get into some promo, and I want to plug shit. I think I'm good, So YouTube has this thing where I just found out that if you cuss within the first 2 minutes of your video, they're gonna bump your video down. So right now I think I'm over the threshold, but just to be safe, we gonna talk a little less free, okay? Because we really can't talk all the way free, because if I talk all the way free, y'all might not get to see old pretty me. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of weird how I said that. But anyways, I'm gonna talk semi-free for another few minutes. And then I'm really talk a little looser, so you get the point. But anywho, I want to get into some promotion. You know what I'm saying? Plug some things that I buy. So let me go and start off with these first. So as y'all know, I'm a shoe junkie. I'm a basketball shoe junkie, and I need to quit. And I'm almost about to quit, but I had to get these, right? So I ordered these Mellows, right? I finally got my pair of Mellows. I saw them on GOAT and other various shoe apps or sneaker apps or whatever. And I was like, I got to get these, man. I just got to get them, man, because I'm a Mellow fan. I like the Ball family. I like what they're doing. They're talented. But when I got this box, man, the box is kind of small. Like, I was kind of worried, because when it came in the mail, it came in another, like, brown box or whatever about this size, or fit into one. And I thought to myself, these shoes, did they give me the right size? Because these shoes look pretty, this is small for a shoe box. But no, it's not small, it's efficient, right? So let me go and crack them open. And these are my Mellows. I haven't worn them. I tried them on, but I haven't worn them yet. But yeah, they're a little more red than I thought they would be. Because on the joint they look like. See, here's weird. Like, I guess my eyes are just messed up, man. But these look like they're red right now in person. Like, these look red, but like, to me, in my point of view, they look red. But these are like orange on TV, and how you see it right now, it looks like they orange. But nah, dope pair of shoes. These are the mellow ones. These joints is rare. Nah, but I like them, you know. Not sure if I'm going to wear them with yet, but I'm going to wear them, you know. But as y'all know, I'm a big NBA shoe fan now. I got a couple more pair of shoes on the way. And after that, I'm gonna quit for like a year because I have too many shoes right now. Too many shoes. But now the shoes, man, like I tried them on, like I said, and they're comfortable. They feel good. Pretty simple. Like I like the design around the sole. I'm trying to figure out how to lace them though. So I'm gonna go on YouTube and look up some lacing videos because I'm probably not gonna tie these up all the way to the top, but I'm gonna do something to where I hide the laces, you know, when I wear them. But all in all, I'm happy with the shoe. Like I think it's a dope shoe. So yeah. So the reason I got them is because one, I like them, you know, but two, I was gonna hold off, and because I think come on, Dre. So originally these shoes were like, I think like 120. Right, I'm like, 120, I'll wait. Then I saw on one site they wanted like 190, and I was like, oh, they about to jack these shits up. So I went to another site and I found them for like 160, and I got them. Probably not gonna wear them for a while, but I know how these shoes will do, right? Like everyone's gonna want to get these shoes, and then if you wait for half a year, these things will be $400, and I'm not spending $400 on a pair of shoes. Well, I mean, I have, but I mean, certain shoes I'll spend $400 on. So, but yeah, it's like those Kyries, right? Like they have a pair of like I'm beating myself up over this right now, man. But I remember I like the Kyrie confettis, right? I think they were the Kyrie 4 confettis. And I remember when them shoes first came out, like them shoes, they went for like 140, 120. And now they want like 400 or 450 for them shoes. And I'm just like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So that's how the shoe people get us, right? You got to get it early, you know. But what else am I gonna plug? Let me plug this coil brush. Like for those y'all with a beard like me, this is like the best brush. I got two of them, and basically it's like a brush that when you use it, it takes the pressure off of like your beard. So if you just keep brushing it like this or whatever, it's brushing your hair, but you don't really feel it. It actually feels pretty good. But if you had a comb, if I tried to comb through this, like my whole face would be hurting right now. You know what I'm saying? So the coil brush, I think it's just called the coil brush. If you just like, you know, Google it, not to be offensive, because I know some people get offended with, come on, Dre. Like I know some people get offended when you say, you know, Google shit, you know, but yeah, just Google it. I think it's called the coil brush. And I think it's a black owned company, man. Man, this is like the dopest brush. I got two of them. I got one in my car, one in my bathroom. And if I didn't have this brush, my face would be like super hurting right now. But anywho, if you got a beard, get you a coil brush. You will not regret it. You know? I'm not sure if y'all can see, but yeah, y'all really can't see it, but it's like these things move individually, and just get the brush and brush it, bro. Just get the brush and use the shit. Trust me, you'll like it. What else I got? Am I gonna promote? I just got this. So I can't show you this because of where it's positioned and the size of it. But boom. I got the Jufu floor light. Like, so my apartment used to be dark. Like my shit looked like I can't even talk right now. Blah, blah. My shit looked like Jabba the Hutt's palace. So for all you Star Wars geeks, my shit was dark and like just gritty, right? Because there's no light really in this apartment. So I went on Amazon. I was looking around for like some floor lights, and the Jufu floor light is very impressive. I am very pleased with this product. I was so pleased I got another one, and I'm probably gonna get two more, but not like right now. I'm gonna get it probably within the next couple months. But uh, it's a dope floor light. What can I tell you about it? Because this is what is lighting up my room right now. Is this Jufu floor light? Before I had a what is it? I had a camera light kit with the umbrella joint for like the photographer joint or the video shooting joint, and I had the umbrella sitting like right in my face, and it was like right here, and I used that as my regular light. But the Jufu floor light is like way off in the corner now. It's an LED light, and I'm not sure if y'all can see it or not, but the head of the light, the part that's flat at the top, it like pivots and you can move it around and flip it down. So right now I have the lamp looking directly at me or whatever, you know, and there's like three modes for the LEDs. Like there's I guess like UV light, there's like the yellowish kind of light, and then there's like another one, and they all have like about 20 settings of brightness. So I'm very impressed. I got one in my living room. I have one in my bedroom right now, or my studio. This is my studio. It's my workshop, and I'm gonna get two more. Probably gonna put one. I'm probably gonna put two more in my living room, because it's gonna make the joint look even brighter. You know, so if your apartment looks like something out the wire or Jabba the Hutt's palace, get you this Jufu light. It's like $60, $64. And trust me, it's worth the buy. So, okay, cool. Enough of that. Now we are going to, another thing I want to plug too, and I don't really need to advertise this. I mean, you guys see it on Netflix, but Ozark season 4, part 1. Man. So I don't want to talk too much about it because I know it's only been out for like a week and people are trying to take their time with it. You know, some people have to rewatch it because here's the thing, man. They took too long of a gap to get the joint out. Right? Like it took 2 years for them to get season 4 part 1 out. So I don't know, like that to me kind of got me upset because like all that momentum that I had from watching it, I had to basically put on the back burner, and I watched other shows and now I forgot about what even went on. So the recaps aren't that great. Like for each season, like the recap isn't that great. I'm sorry, the season 4 recap isn't that great. You could go to each other season and watch the recap of each season, I guess. But I mean, I just jumped into season 4. I watched it. At first, things seemed kind of slow, but they were just setting everything up. And then around like maybe the second episode, late second episode, everything just starts to fireworks. Boom, like things start happening, you know? And I have a theory. I have a theory about Ben, and my theory still holds. So I am on record on YouTube right now saying this, but I have a theory about Ben. So hopefully, well, you know, knowing Ozark, they're probably not going to drop the part 2 to season 4 until like December or some shit, you know? So in I'm going to give it like another month or two, and then I'm going to tell you my theory on Ben. Because I know, look, to me, in my eyes, if they don't do what I think they're going to do with Ben, to me, they wasted like the best ending of any show in the history of shows. But if they do what I think they're going to do, this is going to be epic. It's going to be epic. So I'm not going to talk too much more about it. But like I said, man, at first I was like struggling with the episode 1 of season 4, part 1. But yeah, I binged it in one night. It's not a hard binge. You probably get done within like 4.5 hours. So I started at like, what time did I start? I started at like 9:00 last Friday or I forgot what day it was, but I started at like 9:00 at night, and I went to bed at 3. So it's about maybe 6 hours ish, right? But no, it's definitely worth it. So that's all I'm gonna plug for today. So Had something kind of come up. Like I said, this is called the Trippin with Theobold show, and I be tripping in speech. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had my speech impediment was bad way back in the day, but now it's kind of like a little. It's it's serviceable. You know, it's not perfect. You know, but I don't know. I kind of want to talk about something, man. So it's kind of funny, right? But the question I came up with was, why does me talking low like fuck me up? You know, like the one thing I noticed is when I'm put on the spot and I have to project and I have to talk, I will talk. Like everything is, it's not like fine, but everything will come out a lot easier because I'm super focused on it and I can't like fuck up. You know, for the most part. Like, I don't want to jinx myself, but when I have to talk low and there's other chatter going on or other things going around, my mind is like in all these different places, and I'm sitting there trying to like whisper or talk low, and my shit will just, nigga, I'll be struggling. I'll be like, struggling like nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's because like it's weird. It's like a dual, um, it's like a dual effect. Like I don't want people to. It's like I don't want like if I'm in, let's say for example, if I'm at like a comedy show or something like that, right? And I know I'm not supposed to be talking. I'm trying to keep my voice down and talk low, but I'm worried about like people noticing that I'm talking or the performer talking and then calling me out. And then like I'm also worried about stuttering and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm worried about two things at once. And then it's like when I start like fucking up, like by talking low, it's like it's like now I'm worried about other people finding me out. Like, oh shit, like what's wrong with this nigga? You know what I'm saying? So that's something I just found out. I mean, I didn't just find out. It's something that like I am for the first time articulating. You know, so that's why when I be at shows and shit or places where I'm not supposed to talk, I'm usually quiet and I shut the fuck up. So that's the beauty about this thing, right? It's like it controls when I shut the fuck up, you know? So like when I be at shows and people want to talk or for example, like if I'm at the movies, right? And people want me to talk during the movie, that's why I'm like, nah, I don't, I'm trying to focus on one thing. I can't focus on all these different things at one time. Right? Because it's gonna make me look stupid, like literally, you know. So, I thought that was interesting, you know. But yeah, that's something that I kind of just I thought about for a long time, but it's like wow, yeah, that does happen, you know. Like the more I have to speak out, the clearer shit comes out for me. But if I gotta whisper and keep it down and look over my shoulder and don't say this, don't say that, don't reveal that, that's all, folks. You know what I mean? So maybe I need to work on that. Maybe I need to just practice talking low. You know, but I'm afraid that if like I practice talking low, it might fuck up like the way I talk like normal at normal altitude or when I gotta like speak out. See, that's the other tripping part, right? See, right now I'm tripping, right? See how I kind of like I dissected all that. Most people wouldn't have even thought about that shit. They would have just been like, man, move on. But nah, like I be thinking. So yeah, so it's like, what if I like working on like just talking low all the time? Like, hey, I'm talking low. I'm working on doing this. I'm talking low. But then when I want to speak out, that's when I get the blah, 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 bullshit that comes out. Because that happened to me one time, man. I remember one time when I was in school. I may have told this story already, but if I didn't, here it is. But I remember when I was in college, after my first year being a freshman, my school admitted way too many students, right? So they admitted more students than they could have housed. So they had this thing where they had a lottery system where they put you like in like a computerized lottery system or whatever. And if you were going to be a sophomore, you staying on campus depended on their lottery system, right? So I remember they had like this big town hall meeting on the campus, and I'm all worked up because I'm like, I don't know how to get an apartment. I don't know how these things work. So I remember in the town hall meeting, we were all there, and I forgot what question I was trying to ask, but nigga, um, this shit came out bad, man. Like it came out so bad where like you here's the thing, right? Here's how you know you fucked up when like here's how you know your speech is fucked up, right? Like I remember when I tried to say something, like my thought was there, like I knew how I wanted to say it, like I could say it in my head, but what came out was just it was like a lot of like choking and and everyone just looked at me and they were just like everyone just kind of like like so here's the thing, right? It's like you fucked up when people just go like this and they don't even address the fact that you tried to say something. So but that was me trying to speak out, so over time I've learned how to speak out when I need to speak out and speak up. But when I talk low and try to like conceal shit, that's when my shit kind of gets fucked up. So that's why I'm like worried. Like if I really practice on talking low, like what if my brain can only do one or the other? Like talk low or talk out or talk up. You know, like what if I can only? So it's like if I'm already like kind of doing the talking up part right, I might want to just go ahead and just leave it alone and just whenever I gotta talk low, I just shut the fuck up and don't say nothing. That's easy for me. But that's easier. Right? But all right, whatever. So let's go ahead and get into the crux. Let's get into the meat of what we're gonna talk about for this show, right? So yeah, the Bills divisional playoff game last week against the Chiefs. This was supposed to be our game. This was supposed to be our revenge game, the ultimate revenge. We were supposed to go up there and smack up on these Chiefs, But instead, we had another heartbreak loss, and we have a title for a loss, right? Here's the thing, right? So, if you're not familiar, like the Bills are probably the team that's associated with most of the title games. And when I say title games, it's like you can say one word and you know what that game's about, right? So when I say wide right, Super Bowl 25, when Scott Norwood missed a game-winning kick. When I say Music City Miracle, that's when Frank Wycheck threw an illegal forward pass to was it Kevin Dyson, and he ran that shit up at the last second of the game to win the game, right? Then there's the comeback game, which most people say the Music City Miracle is the revenge game to the comeback, right? The comeback was when the Bills came back on the Oilers. They were like losing, 28-3 at halftime or something like that. And then the Bills came all the way back and won in overtime. So like I said, we got the comeback, we got wide right, we got the Music City Miracle, we got the Monday night Three Rivers meltdowns. Like those were the games when Buffalo went to Pittsburgh and played Greg Lloyd and was it Greg Lloyd and Kevin Smith? Was it Greg Lloyd and Kevin Smith? I think it's Kevin Smith. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, the two. Yeah, I think it's Kevin Smith. But yeah, those guys, they shut our offense down. Those two shut our offense down, and we used to get blown out on Monday Night Football in Three River Stadium. That's the stadium before Heinz Field. So Buffalo has yet another title game. This game is called 13 Seconds, right? So when people say 13 seconds, they're talking about the Bills. I think I fucked up there, right? Come on, Dre, if I did. Yeah, I did. I'm trying to I was trying to forget it, but now I got to call it out. But now we're in 13 seconds, or 13 seconds is the game where the Bills let the Chiefs score within 13 seconds to tie the game to go to overtime. 13 seconds it is, Excuse me. But what's ironic is Gabriel Davis went off that game. Like Gabriel Davis is probably going to be playing for a bigger contract soon. But he wears number 13. So I think it's a conspiracy. 13 seconds, he wore number... Okay, let me stop. See, I'm tripping. But anywho, man, yeah, that game was painful to watch. I mean, here's the thing, right? I've seen crazy Bills finishes in the past, so my heart rate was pretty much normal during that game. Like I was, like it wasn't about to jump out of my chest because I've seen it all. And when you've seen it all, it's kind of like, you know, you kind of just deal with it. Um, Now, if that was a Super Bowl, like my heart would have probably been like in my mouth, you know. But a lot of people are, are critical about the loss. They were like, "Hey, how come they just didn't squib kick it? It would have took more seconds off the clock, and then they wouldn't have had time to go down the field to score." Um, some people are like, "Why did Leslie Frazier go into a prevent defense to allow them to be able to get in position to kick to actually tie the game up or whatever?" Um, so here's my thing, right? We have to, as Bills fans, now I'm talking specifically to Bills Mafia right now, right? We have to get out of the mindset of just making it to the Super Bowl, all right? Because I've been to four of them shits. Well, I didn't go personally, but my team, I've followed my Bills like from them four Super Bowls, and just getting there, trust me, is not enough. When we get there, we gotta go kick them doors open, and we gotta stomp people out, and we have to win convincingly. Like I don't want none of this get there lucky and win shit, right? And we were kind of doing that because if you look at our run defense and our rushing offense, it kind of came around towards the end of the year, but we had like a couple weeks where we were getting ran through. And to me, it's like running the ball and being able to stop the run are like the two most important things in football. If you can't do one of those two, you're gonna struggle. So, it's weird, like, but I rather us not go. I mean, here's the thing. I think Josh Allen put together like probably his best performance. Like that performance that he played could have won the Super Bowl. But as a team collectively, I don't think we were ready to win a Super Bowl. You know, because when we go, we gotta win. Like we can't be on this just make it shit. Mm-mm. Been there, done that. You know, but it was weird. But I was kind of conflicted during the game, and I was conflicted because like the Super Bowl this year is in Los Angeles, right? And I live in LA, or it's actually it's in Inglewood, but it's like, it's right down the street. And nigga, Super Bowl tickets, man, were starting at $6,000 for nosebleed seats. So by the time you finish paying taxes on that, it'll probably be around $7,000 for them tickets. And I done been through way too much shit with my bills to not have gone to that Super Bowl. So I would have went, but it would have hurt, like financially. You know what I'm saying? But nah, if they went, I would have had to gone. Did I say that right? I would have had to have gone. I'm like, shit, if the Bills go, I go. Like, we won package. You know what I'm saying? They owe me. I went through way too much with my Bills all throughout my life, man. It's the only team I've ever rooted for in football. Across all sports, I only have one team, like the Bills, the Wizards, the Nationals, and the Sabres. I think I broke this down a few videos ago. But the Bills was like the first team I ever went for as a youngin. Like, I've been a Bills fan my whole life, and it would have hurt or it would have sucked to have had them go to the Super Bowl and like I'm not there. Like that's just me. I mean, call me selfish, call me greedy. I don't give a fuck. But they owe me that. You know what I'm saying? I'm owed that. All right, because like the way I became a Bills fan is pretty crazy, right? Like my mom and dad are from the Buffalo area. I was born in Buffalo. And let me fix this joint. I don't know what's going on with this. Okay, there we go. Whatever. But yeah, now I was come on, Dre. But now I was I was born in Buffalo. Mom and dad from Buffalo, and they were Bills fans since the '60s. Like, like when they had them shitty seasons, like they were fans like during the days of like Joe Ferguson and O.J. Simpson and Joe DeLamielleure. I don't know if I said his name right, but the Electric Company, was it the Electric Company? Like, that's before my time, so I'm not gonna act like I know. But they were Bills fans in the '60s, and like I was a part of Bills Mafia before there was even a Bills Mafia. That's how far back I go. Like I remember my dad. I remember my folks. We started having Super Bowl parties when the Bills went to Super Bowl 25, and I remember coming in, hearing Whitney Houston, destroy the national anthem. Man, that was like the best anthem I've ever heard. And then I remember like just smelling, chicken wings, and we had the sesame noodle. It was different, So I remember, like my dad, we had all these like people over to watch the game. My folks had all these people over to watch the game, and this one person was like, "Hey, Andre, so who's your favorite team?" And before I could even open up my mouth, my dad says, "Anyone in this house who sleeps and eats in this house is a Bills fan. If not, they can go sleep in the streets." So at that point, I'm like, "Oh, shit, this is serious." I'm like, "Oh man." I was like, "Man, go Bills," right? So ever since then, I just been going for the Bills like hard, man. But here's the thing, man. Like the thing that sucks about being a Bills fan, man, is like the only time people would ever call my house to talk to me is when the Bills lost the Super Bowl. Like whenever the Bills were getting ready to lose, I'm watching the clock count down. I got tears swelling up in my eyes. I would storm off to my bed and hit the bed. And the moment I hit the bed, the phone would start ringing. My mom would be like, "Andre's for you." I'm like, "Mom, tell him I'm asleep." She'd be like, "Man, take this phone." So I take the phone, and I would try to act sick. I would try to act sick for sympathy. So I would sound like a dying Yoda from Star Wars Episode 6. See, that wasn't a stutter. I just got the wrong words mixed up. So I'm not gonna do it. Come on, Dre. But nah, I sound like a dying Yoda from Star Wars Episode 6. I'm up there. Hello. And they'd be like, "Oh, what's wrong, Trey?" I'd be like, "Man, I don't feel too good right now." And they'd be like, "Man, that sucks. But not like them Bills." Click. And hang the phone up on me. So I used to get prank called whenever the Bills lost the Super Bowl 4 in a row. All right. I remember the scores to them shits: 19-20, 37-24, 52-17, 30-13. So I've been through. That's why I said they owe me. Me and the Bills are a package deal. When they go to the Super Bowl, I go. But now I went through a lot with that team, man, or this team. I remember, was it Super Bowl 26 against the Redskins? Like I said, I didn't tell you, but I grew up in the D.C. area, and I went to school in the D.C. area, and Super Bowl 26 is when the Bills lost to the Redskins. So I'm thinking to myself, ain't no way in the hell the Bills are going to lose to the Redskins. I'm like, who the hell is Mark Rippon? Mark Rippon ain't going to do shit. His jersey don't even look right. Like, if you look at Mark Rippon's jersey, the number 11, like the ones for the number 11 on his jersey are like super far apart. Like, it looks like a fake jersey. But anyways, I'm talking shit. I'm like, no way the Bills are going to lose this. So, Bills lose the Super Bowl. And I'm like, damn, I got to go to school tomorrow. And I'm trying to like play sick. I'm trying to duck and dodge going to school. But I thought to myself, shit, if I get to school early enough, as people come in, I could take my Bills bashing one-on-one. Like, it's easy to talk trash to people like one-on-one. But when you got to take on a whole army of people, man, that shit is traumatizing, So I remember I tried to get to school early. The first class we had was choir. And I thought I'm the first one in the class. The lights are off. As soon as I cut the lights on, all these motherfuckers was there waiting on me. The whole class was there waiting on me. Even the choir director. They had on their little war paint and the little feathers in their head. making the Indian noises and stuff, and then the piano teacher started playing "Hail to the Redskins" on the piano. Like, man, that shit was traumatizing. That shit was traumatizing, man. Like, I felt like Charlie Brown and Charlie Brown Christmas Special when he bought the wrong tree and shit. Remember when he bought the wrong tree? Like, I went for the wrong. Well, I was going for the wrong team at the time, you know. So, like I said, I've been through way too much with my team, man. Like, they owe me. We a package deal when we go to the next Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm just boring y'all with Super Bowl stories, but I don't care. It's my channel. I can say what I want. But what else, man? Yeah, I used to hate going to school the day after a Bills Super Bowl loss. I remember. Let me go back to Super Bowl 26, right? So Super Bowl 26, I remember that was a game where. How am I gonna set this up? That's right. What happened was my mom used to have this red Buffalo Bills hors d'oeuvre helmet, you know, and you could put like chips in the tray in the face mask, and then the top would come off of the helmet, and you could put like chicken wings in there and stuff. So, Super Bowl 26, that was a game where Thurman Thomas lost his helmet, you know, so he lost his helmet at halftime, and one of my goofy friends at the time, they were like, "Yo," they started taking the food out the tray, and I'm like, "Yo, what are you doing?" They said, "Yo, if you hurry up and get to the game, you can give Thurman Thomas a helmet to get back in the game with." I was like, "Man, if you don't put that shit back down the table, man," like I was pissed because we were losing, you know. But then what else, man? But then Super Bowl 27, you know, that was the Cowboys in Pasadena. Michael Jackson healed the world tour halftime show. But I remember that Super Bowl because I made a bet with the campus bully, not campus, because I wasn't. I made a bet with the school bully, and the bet was it was like a $40 bet. But like when you're like in the sixth grade, you know, it's like $40 is a lot of money, you know. So I made the bet thinking like, there's no way in the hell that my Bills are going to lose this. They are going to win this one. So that was a game when we got stomped out 52-17. And I was salty that whole game, or maybe around the second quarter, I was salty because we were just getting punished. I couldn't even look. I was so mad I couldn't even watch the halftime show with Michael Jackson. Like I was like, man, I'm going. I gotta go. I gotta go in my room. I gotta meditate for what I want to see happen. You know. That was a Super Bowl with Leon Lett. Was it there? I think it was Leon Lett who got the fumble and almost ran it back for a touchdown, but Don Beebe stopped him. So if he would have scored, it would have been 59-17. So thanks, Don Beebe, for not making it too much of an ass whooping. What else? But now I remember I made a bet with this with the school bully, and I remember the night before I went to bed, I was like, man, shit, man, my Bills lost. Like I was feeling like shit. I'm like, man, Bills lost. I'm getting prank calls all night. And I'm like, man, I gotta go to school tomorrow. I gotta get made fun of. And then on top of that, I owe this dude money. So I go to school and I'm ready to take, you know, whatever I gotta take, man. I'm like, you know what? I made a bet. I can't pay. I gotta pay up some way, right? So I go to school and the bully run up on me. And I'm like, oh man, hey man, sorry man, I don't have your money. And he's like, nah man, hey, forget the money, man. I'm just worried about you to make sure that you're okay. Because y'all got your ass beat. He said, man, look, to be honest with you, man, I feel so bad for you, man, that I don't even want to take your money, man. You can keep your money. So now I'm feeling like extra shit because I can't even take my ass whooping, and two, he's let me off the hook. So it's like during that game, like I lost my dignity. I lost my like I just felt bad, man, you know. I felt bad that I couldn't, like, that my bet was like my Bills played so bad in that Super Bowl that my bet wasn't even like, it was like nullified, you know. Like they played so bad that bet didn't even count. So anywho, then what's the next one? Super Bowl 28. That one was in the Georgia Dome against the Cowboys again. It was the rematch. All right, it's the Cowboys Bills rematch. This time I thought the Bills were going to be due. First half looked good. Second half looked like shit. They came out, lost the game 30-13. You know? So, yeah, man. Those are like, I done been through all that. I remember all that, man. Like, I used to make pictures and draw and put up little artwork about what I wanted to see, about what was going to happen during the game or what the outcome of the game was going to be. And nah, man, that shit was like the total opposite. Like, if I go back in time to myself, if I go back in time, I would probably try to draw what I don't want to have happen, you know, and maybe the game would have been closer, or maybe that would have helped us get a Super Bowl win. I don't know. But yeah, man, so yeah, I was conflicted this season about the Bills getting hot and going to the Super Bowl because, one, like I said, I've been through 4 straight losses. Them shits hurt. I don't want us to go if we ain't gonna win. You know, if we're not gonna win, don't go. You know what I mean? But then if like they did go, it's like I felt like I have to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was weird. It was like, even though it was a great game, it was a heartbreaking loss. I'm like, I don't have to pay $7,000 to go to the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying that. Make sure I say my words carefully, right? I want my Bills to go to the Super Bowl to win, but I don't want them to go there without me. But like the money, so I had money saved. I had enough to get a ticket, but it would have killed my savings. But I would have did it because I had to have done it. Because if I didn't go, the fear of me not going, or the fear of that eating me up for years to come was like too big. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put the money down. I'm gonna forget about it. All right, I'll make up $7,000 over the next couple of years, but you can't make up a memory that you weren't a part of. You know what I mean? So I would have had to have gone. But I'm trying to get my money up even more, right? I'm trying to get my money up to the point to where if I do have to go to the Super Bowl, it's not gonna hurt. But right now, that shit would have hurt. So, anywho, like I'm a little relieved. I don't have to worry about it losing the Super Bowl and shit. Yeah. So a lot of people, I'm not sure if I talked about this or not, but a lot of people were talking about the game, right? They were talking about the game last week. They said, oh, they should have squib kicked it, or they should have not gone prevent defense. The squib kick would have, like you say, if they squib kicked it, it would have taken off time off the clock, and maybe that wouldn't have happened. But prevent defense, like we learned from Marty Schottenheimer, right? R.I.P. Marty Schottenheimer. Is he dead? Because Dan Reeves passed away a few weeks ago. All I know is I know that Marty Schottenheimer. I know he wasn't doing well for a while, you know. But I don't know the guy. I'm just trying to be respectful, you know what I'm saying? But he had that prevent defense shit. Like, he's like the father of the prevent defense, you know. And all prevent defense does is prevent you from winning the game, you know. So but yeah. So my thing was, I thought the Bills played as well as they could have played, but they should have. I don't know. Like, we drafted our team to beat the Chiefs. Like, our draft, everything we did was to beat the Chiefs, and the fact that we had to play the Chiefs and then lost to them just shows that whatever we were doing wasn't working. So we got to go back and rethink our shit. So the best, like I said, the best recipe for beating the Chiefs is running the ball and controlling the clock, right? If you keep Mahomes on the sidelines and then you just pound the ball, eat up the clock, get ahead by 2 touchdowns, and get the ball and sit on it, you'll win, because Andy Reid can't manage no clock. We know Andy Reid can't manage the clock. The clock is Andy Reid's kryptonite. You know what I mean? So, it's dope that we got a gunslinger and Josh Allen, and he can run the ball like that, or he can do what he does on offense. But we got to address the running game. I like Devin Singletary. I think Singletary came on strong for us at the end of the year, but he's not a bell cow back. We need a bell cow back. We need someone that can just fall forward and get 5 yards. Like we need like a Brandon Jacobs, or we need. I mean, he's an older former Giants running back, but we need a big body type back that can just sit on the ball. Like when we hand the ball off to you, your job is to. We don't want to see no juking. We don't want to see no tap dancing. We don't want to see none of this. Nah, you get the ball, you hit the hole 5 yards every time. Right? And then when you play the Chiefs, next time you play them, you win the coin toss, you get the ball first, and then you score however you're going to score. But then on defense, you got to make sure you get at least one stop or get one turnover or have them get a field goal. But then after that, you got to eat the clock up. Get up 2 scores and just chew clock. Fundamentals, right? So, anywho, something else came up. I'm going to address right now. There seems to be some confusion about my Kaepernick jerseys, right? So here's what I wear a lot of. I have like 20 jerseys, right? But I have this jersey here, Bills jersey, and I got, of course, I got the home jersey as well. I got the dark threaded jersey. 7-7, right? And I got to get a throwback. I got to get a Kaepernick jersey with the throwback threads. So a lot of people are like, why did you do that? Because as y'all know, Kaepernick never played for the Bills. I had one person try to tell me that Cap played for the Bills, and I'm like, nah, I think I would have known if he played for the Bills, but he didn't. So, why did I do that? Well, first let's start with the how I did it, or how I came up with this, and then we'll talk about the why. Okay, so what happened? So I was at a Bills game in Carson, California, right, when the Chargers were playing in the little soccer stadium or whatever it was. It was a Bills Chargers. This was a few years ago. Bills Chargers, and I go to the game, and I'm wearing my Doug Flutie jersey, right? Doug Flutie wore number 7 for the Bills. But I'm very particular. Like I'm a jersey enthusiast, right? Like I'm a sneaker head. I'm also a jersey head, right? Like I study jerseys, So the Bills have worn 3 different threads of jerseys in my existence, right? Or in my lifetime, right? So the Flutie jersey was the jersey that the Bills wore like from when I first started watching football, right? And it's a single, like the piping is a single white pipe, flanked by 2 skinny red stripes officially, right? I wish I could show y'all, but Google it, right? So that's the jersey I wore, royal blue, and I see this guy at the game, and he's wearing a Bills jersey number 7, but he has the new threads, right? And the new threads, the Bills have basically it's like 2 pipes, right? The piping is, I can show y'all like this, right? So the first Bills jersey only had one of these sets of stripes here, right? But it was bigger, right? So imagine like this stripe here being like that size, right? But anywho, this jersey has 2 stripes now, right? We have 2 stripes, or 2 sets of piping, right? It's white in the middle, red on either side. Come on, Dre. Red on either side, and then if you look carefully, there's navy blue, right? You see the navy? So, and the white stripe is like thicker than all the other stripes. And what's interesting, which I didn't realize, is the red stripe is half the thickness of the white stripe, and the navy stripe is half the thickness of the red stripe, right? So this is what the Bills wear now. or that's the style of the piping that the Bills wear now, right? So saw this dude at the game. He had a number 7 jersey on, and I was like, "Yo, is that a Flutie jersey?" And he was like, he just smiled at me. And I was like, "Who wore number 7 for the Bills?" I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, "Oh, that's a Cardale Jones jersey because Cardale Jones wore number 7." You know, you guys might remember Cardale Jones. He was big quarterback from Ohio State. And he was like, "Nope." So I'm like, "What jersey is that?" And when he turned around, I was like, "Yo, that's it." So it's not my idea. I got it from somebody else, and I wish I knew the brother's name, man. But it was weird though, right? Like when Kap was playing, I felt like I felt very like when Kap started taking the knee. Here's the thing, right? Like during the time when Kap played, I remember during the Olympics, during the Summer Olympics, that was when Philando Castile got gunned down by the police unjustly, you know. Um, and I remember like feeling like really weird about the Olympics. Like I wasn't gonna boycott it. I wasn't like anti-Olympics, and I wasn't on that because I understand. I get it, right? A lot of these athletes in the Olympics, they don't have a salary, right? They only rely on like their funding or like the sponsorships, and they work their whole life for this. So I'm not expecting them to go and throw all that away because of how I feel, you know. But I felt weird watching the Olympics because you're watching like black people run and swim and flip and then smile in front of that American flag when things ain't that peachy and creamy back in our home country. You know what I'm saying? So I felt weird about it. And then when I saw Kap doing what he was doing, I was like, yo, that's it. You know? Because he wasn't disrespecting the flag. A lot of people say, oh, he disrespected the flag, but no, he didn't disrespect the flag. There's no rule for not doing that, right? There's no rule for having to there's no rule for not doing that, yeah. So I liked what he did. I liked the stance. I liked the fact that he said, look, there's a problem. America, do better. That's all he said, right, with that gesture. So, and to me, it was like, it was that gesture or that whole movement or that statement it basically had a whole lot of different angles to it, man. Like it basically said, I can't be bought. If you don't like what I'm doing, okay, cool, I'm out. It was, hey, look, I'm calling attention to all of the injustices against, black people in this country, So to me, I thought that was dope, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get a little deeper later, but to me, like, that's what was like needed, And to me, the funny thing was that if during this time you're supposed to be honoring the flag and focus only on the flag, why is the cameraman on the players? Shouldn't the cameraman or the camera be on the flag? So if they would have just kept the camera on the flag, there would have been none of this, right? But anyways, Kap got their attention, and I remember during that time period, it just basically caused like a whole bunch of like divide, especially within the black community. You know what I'm saying? I remember black people, like a lot of black people I know, I'm still cool with, still friends with, man. They're like, man, fuck the NFL, and that's their opinion. I'm not gonna dislike them because of that or whatever it is, but it caused like there was like a lot of I don't want to say bullying, but there was like a lot of trolling in the black community with this, right? Like basically people were saying the consensus or the theme was basically, if you still fuck with the NFL and you black, you a coon. Right? That was like, it never, like, no one ever came out and said that, but that was like the vibe, that was the theme of the shit. You know what I'm saying? And I remember just all the posts and everyone was saying, oh, y'all can't give up football and y'all can't give up this, and that's the problem with this country, and that's why the black man is held back and yada yada. No, stop. Right? So, and then some of those same people were NBA fans, right? And to me, the NBA is just as wicked as the NFL. You know what I mean? But I don't want to talk about the NBA right now. I'm talking about the NFL, right? So, like I said, I grew up at 9 years old watching this shit. Like I had friends, I met lots of friends, I met lots of family doing this. You know what I'm saying? This is just something I've done for like ever since the age of 9. So, to me, I'm like, okay, do I have to give it up, or am I willing to give it up? Yeah, but maybe there's another solution around the joint, right? So, I remember, like when Kap didn't get picked up or whatever, or they were blackballing Kap. I remember just feeling like weird because everyone was kind of like, hey, you shouldn't fuck with football no more. So, I basically said, you know what, I can't do it, right? Like like I said, I met too many friends, close friends that I know, doing this, and like I'm not ready to give that up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I went to a couple games, and that's when I ran into the brother with the Kap jersey on. Because I was gonna get a 49ers Kaepernick jersey, right? I was gonna get the black one with the red numbers in it, but I'm not a 49ers fan, So I was like, nah, that doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna get that and wear that to like Bills games or whatever, because I'm not a 49ers fan at all. So when I saw what the dude did, I'm like, oh, I got to get me a couple of these, So that's how I came up with it, but that's how I've come to where I'm at now. But let's get into the why, right? So, that dog loud as shit. Can y'all hear that dog? Okay, maybe it's just me, but there's a dog barking outside my window right now. But anywho, let's get to the why, right? So, I wear these jerseys to like the games. Anytime I put on my Bills shirt, I'm wearing these Kap jerseys, right? Even though I have way more of the jerseys, but I'm wearing these Kap jerseys because, I'm wearing these Kap jerseys because I want people to know where I stand on shit, because it's real easy to be amongst people that think less of people that aren't for what they're for, and it's real easy to not speak up. You know what I'm saying? So when I wear these so when I wear this Kap jersey, I ain't got to say shit because you know where I stand on this shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time I was at a bar in Buffalo, and I'm talking with a Bills fan, white dude, older white dude, and we're talking all Bills history and just all the players and just all the things we went through and just all the Super Bowls, the glory days or whatever. And then the TV comes on, or on the TV they have it's like a news article of Kaepernick, right? And this white dude just goes off on, oh, Kaepernick's horrible. He disrespected the country, and oh, he should never be allowed to play football again. And oh, he makes all this money. I don't see why he's doing all this. Like he was just really going in on Kap, right? And then right after that, like on another TV, there was some more developments or whatever. I believe in either the Philando Castile case, or there was another black killing. And he sat there and looked at it and didn't say shit. So I'm looking at him like, that's Kap's whole point. Like, you don't see that? I didn't say it because it was like, at the time I was like weird, because I was there to enjoy myself, to have some wings, and have some beer. But then it was like, okay, you don't see that? Like now I gotta have this conversation. It's just weird. Like I was just really very weirded out by it, or I felt really uncomfortable. So I said, you know what? Once I started, with the Kap jerseys or whatever, I was like, yo, I rock with it, because now it's like, if people are here's the thing, you can believe whatever you want to believe, right? I'm a firm believer. Hey, this is a free country. You can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe, right? But that doesn't mean that you can treat people a certain way or demean people, right? So people that are anti-NFL, it's cool to be anti-NFL. If you don't fuck with it, cool. Like, I don't think anything less of you. I don't think anything more. It's just that's your personal choice. That's your personal belief, right? But if you're gonna say, oh, because I fuck with the NFL still, I'm a coon or whatever it is, get the fuck from around me. You know what I'm saying? So when I wear my Bills Kap jersey or whatever, yeah, I got my colors on and shit. Black, or not, I don't say black people. But people that are anti-NFL might come and see me or whatever and be like, oh, this motherfucker is a coon or some shit, right? But when I walk past them and they turn around and they see, oh, I got the Kaepernick on, and they want to come and chop it up with me, I'm like, nah, keep that shit moving. The fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't deal with corny shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be a cornball, keep that shit moving. And vice versa, right? Like if you're anti-cap, right? Like there's been many times where I've gone to a game or gone places or whatever, and I got my Kap jersey on. I got my Bills Kap jersey on, and people will see me come from the front, and they'll be like, "Hey, go Bills, yeah, oh man." But then when they see the back of my jersey, they'll be like, "Kaepernick, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, dude? Like, you know what I'm saying? Cool, keep it moving. Like, I don't want to be amongst people that feel a certain type of way, or that like, you can feel however you want to feel about what he's doing, but when you try to like think less of me because of that, I don't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love wearing my Kap jersey, man, because it's like, end of the day, it's like I don't gotta say much. You know, people are gonna ask questions. Like, you got questions, cool, ask questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? If people want to have a conversation, cool, let's have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna put me in the anti-NFL, or if you're gonna put me in a bucket, right, where you're anti-NFL or you're anti-cap, or you put people in those kind of buckets, and you are gonna think less of them, then cool, get the fuck away from around me. Like, I don't want to waste my time. Right? I don't have, like, life is short. I don't have time to deal with people who are ignorant to the fact where they're not going to be open that other people have other opinions on shit, you know? So I got a little serious or whatever. I mean, people can say what the fuck they want to say. I don't care. But that's where I'm at, right? At the end of the day, I am a black man before I'm a Bills fan. And I know that, right? But this country needs to be reminded of that, right? Because America needs to do better. They have to do better. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. I mean, if y'all got comments, you want to put some shit in the chat, if you want to say whatever you want to say, cool. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a conversation or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, I have no time for I got no time for fakeness. You know, like, if you don't rock with the NFL, or if you don't rock with people who rock with the NFL, keep that shit moving. Right? If you can't respect the fact that people still watch the NFL and you're gonna think less of them, cool, keep it moving. Right? If you like, so make sure you hear what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying like you have to agree with me. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. I'm just saying, like, you know, respect the fact that other people have other opinions, you know? But if you're going to treat me different because of my opinion or because of how I feel, get the fuck from around me. Peace. Be gone. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, let me see what else we got going on, man. Let's get to the DraftKings portion of the show. I'm a little long-winded today. Boom. Let's get to the DraftKings portion of the show. So, Birdman hand rub. So, good news. I won $5 yesterday. $5. I won $5 yesterday, man. I figured something out. I'm not gonna tell y'all just yet, because I don't want y'all all to go do it and then you cut into my winnings. You know what I'm saying? But I have a theory. I have a new theory I'm working with right now, you know, and I think I'm on to something, you know. Yeah, I did NBA tiers. Let me see, read off my players and stuff. Pardon the noise. Let me see what I did. So yesterday, had a pretty good day yesterday. I won $5. I put in $2 and won $5. Um, and I did the NBA tiers, and I did the NBA Classic. So I won 3 off of the Classic, and I won 2 off of the tiers. So let me go ahead and look at this, right? So when I actually had my lineups so when I was looking at my lineups, I was like way to the left. So I'm like, man, this theory isn't going to work. It's bullshit, right? But then when I checked my lineups at night before going to bed, I was like, oh, because I looked at Jokic. I had a whole lot of Jokic last night. And Jokic had a mediocre night for Jokic. Like, I think he only had like 50 fantasy points. But everybody else, I was like, oh. So, let me see. Actually, no, I had a lot of Towns, Karl Anthony Towns. So, I went Maxey on the Sixers, who balled out. I tried to go cheap, and I tried to get the value out of Korkmaz. Otto Porter was average. I had who else did I have? I had I don't even know this dude. I just looked at the data, but S. Johnson on the Lakers. I don't know who that is. Like I said, I look at numbers before I look at anything else, which I probably shouldn't do. I need to probably look more at the strategy and everything else, but I look purely at numbers. And then I had Karl Anthony Towns at center. Then I had Klay Thompson at the guard spot. Then I had Anthony Edwards, who went off too. I had him as my forward, and then I had Andrew Wiggins as my utility man. So that lineup won me $3, right? I guess it was a tie, but the first place prize in that contest got like $800. So I was like 20 points behind. No, I was like 40 points behind first. And then in my tiers, I was how many off was I? Top prize was $500. I was like 35 points behind first. But actually, you know what? I stayed away from Jokic. That's what it was. I stayed away from Jokic in this one. And I had Towns. I got Westbrook. See, something told me to play Anthony Davis because LeBron was out, but I went Westbrook instead, and that's where I messed up. Like, that's where I lost. But I had Maxey right. I had Thompson right. I had Drummond right. I actually beat first place. I won tier 5. I beat the first place winner in tier 5, right? I had Andre Drummond, who had 19 points, where he had Carmelo Anthony with 13.75 points. And then I had Matisse Thybulle at 23, and then he had McDaniels at 25.5. So I think I'm on to something. Man. But like I said, I got to test my theory out a little bit more. I got to win a couple bigger pots, and once I get the money I need, then I'll share that with y'all. But I'm not gonna give y'all my secrets right when I find it out, just so y'all can all go do it. I know I sound selfish, my bad. But I need the money though, you know what I'm saying? So once I win, everyone else can win. All right, but I don't want to be the good Samaritan that goes out and cracks the Holy Grail, and then everyone wants to then go jump in and then cut me out. You know what I mean? So when I win, if this theory I have that's working wins, I'll share it. Matter of fact, I'll do a white paper on it. That's what I'll do. I'll do a white paper on it, and I'll publish it, and you guys can thank me. But what else we got going on, man? I'm long-winded today, man. What else? So now let's talk about let me put my Bills night backdrop on. So let me go ahead and wrap up on this. So this is the comedy bump portion of the show where we talk about like my misfortunes in the world of comedy, because as y'all know, I'm a comedian. I tell jokes. So today I want to talk about giving out bad tags, right? Like I've given out a few I've given out more than enough bad tags, right? And for those of y'all that don't know, in the comedy world, a tag is when It's not the joke. A tag is not a whole new joke, but a tag is basically if you see a comic working on a joke and they do something, and the joke may either flop or it has nothing to do with the success of the joke, but basically it's like you see something that they didn't see in the joke, right? So it's like so if you see something that a comic doesn't see in a joke, you go up to them, and there's tag etiquette, right? You have to have etiquette when you give a tag. Like you have to ask permission to give a tag because some comics might not want to hear a tag. They might be like, "Nah, get the fuck out of here." Right? Like you just I used to just run up to comics and be like, "Oh, hey man, hey, I got a tag for you," and then it'll be a big name comic, it'll be a less known name comic. I would just go up to them like, "Hey, I got a tag for you," and they'd be like, "All right, what is it?" And I would tell them, and they would just be like, "Oh, okay." And you can tell by the reaction if it's a shitty tag, like if they're just like when they start asking you questions about the tag, it's a shitty tag. You know what I'm saying? But I remember there's one chick, she's pretty she's been on TV, she's pretty well known. I don't know, I'm not trying to name drop or nothing like that, but I think she's funny. And I remember I gave her a tag. I went to her show and I gave her a tag on Facebook, like Messenger or whatever. And it was a shitty tag. I don't remember what it was, but I know it was shitty, right? And here's how you know you're giving a shitty tag, right? Like, let's talk about let's talk about present tense shitty tagness, and let's talk about past tense shitty tagness, right? So when you're in the moment of giving a tag, right? If you're giving a comic a tag, and or if you're coming up with a tag, if you have to overthink it and you're trying to rewrite it and overthink it and you're just, don't do it. It's not a tag. Don't waste your time, But if the shit just pops in your head and you don't have to put any effort in, but you just thought of it, then yeah, go give them the tag, right? But after you've given the comic the tag, you know it's a shitty tag when they start asking you questions on the tag, or they just kind of get quiet, that's how you know it's a shitty tag. And I've given some comics some tags that they actually went on stage with and the shit bombed. And I was like, oh man, shit, I shouldn't give them that tag, man. Damn. I gave this chick this tag and I was like, oh, when you say whoop-de whoop-de whoop, you could also say whoop-de whoop-de whoop. And then I didn't get a response. But then it was a few weeks later, I went to go check in. I was like, hey, did you ever use that tag I gave you? And they were like, no, that shit sucked. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I can tell. So, nah, but I'm getting better at giving out tags. I'm very, you can't force a tag. A tag is something that just pops up. It just with the way you think and how you see things, that's it, right? I would say that if you're at an open mic with other comedians that are on your level, to help each other get better, it's always good to ask. I think the next best thing is to ask a comic, questions about what they said on stage. I remember I was at one mic, and it was this chick, and she had this funny joke, man. It was about how I'm not doing the joke, but the premise was, oh man, it's a while. It was something about her, making friends with swingers, and she didn't really know what swingers were or whatever. But she went to a swingers party, and basically, she was telling a story about what happened within that party or whatever. And I asked her a question. I was like, "Yo, were you wearing clothes?" And then she started laughing. She was like, "Oh, I never thought." She was like, "Yeah, I'm wearing clothes, but that's what makes it stick. That's what makes it odd is I was the only one wearing clothes in the joint, right?" That was so. The next best thing to a tag is to just ask questions, So that's why I'm always when I'm watching comic sets, I'm always asking myself questions, if we ever talk about their set or if they ask me a question, I'm gonna ask them a question about certain things because a lot of times they just need to answer the right questions in their set, But giving out a tag, man, like I said, I give out very few tags, not because I'm hating, but it's because I know the reputation of giving out bad tags. You don't want to be the comic that gives out bad tags. Um, I think I've probably given out like, I think my tag record is probably like 1-7 right now. I'm like 1-7 right now in the tag world. But yeah, but yeah, I gave out some shitty tags, man. Um, and it's pretty competitive, right? Like there's sometimes like there'll be like I'll be at shows with like other comedians, and there'll be other bigger name comedians on the show, and like another comedian will come up to me and be like, "Yo, I want to give so and so a tag, but I want to run it by you first." I'm like, "Sure, go ahead," and then they'll tell me to tag, and I won't react, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, it sucked," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I wasn't gonna say all that, but I'm glad you came to your conclusion." Or it's all about confidence, but yeah, nah, just don't. Yeah, so but that was the one. That was the one shitty. I remember the tag. I remember I went to this show. I saw this comedian perform, and their joke was like dope, but I thought that it could go in like another direction. And that's the other thing too, right? You gotta be careful of. You don't want to go back and rewrite their joke. Like that's the last thing you want to do because at that point it isn't a tag. Like if you got to write a whole paragraph out, it ain't a tag. A tag is like hey, when you say whoop de whoop, I thought you meant this, or hey, you could say whoop de whoop, right? Um, yeah. So, but yeah, I remember I remember I went on Facebook and I was excited. I was like, oh man, I could definitely help this joke out and make it better, And then I thought I was given a tag, and instead I was given a rewrite. So don't. If you give a comic a rewrite, man, they gonna be like, man, get the fuck out of here. Rightfully so, because I mean that's not what they were trying to say, you know. But anywho, man, what do I have up next? Not a goddamn thing. No big show dates. I actually did a show last Thursday at the Sunset Grill with the Liar Comedy people, and it was a fun show. I didn't realize there was two so there's a Sunset Grill and then there's like another Sunset. I thought it was called Sunset Grill too, but there's another one and they're both on Sunset Boulevard. So I put in the directions to get to the show last Thursday at the Sunset Grill, and I pulled up and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm at the wrong place, and I was like running late too, but I luckily was at the right place. I went upstairs, and it was a good, it was a good workout room. It was real fun. I did like all new material, felt comfortable or whatever. But yeah, that was the last show I had. So right now I'm just like I said, I'm working on all new jokes right now. One thing I learned from my end of year experience last year when I was at these shows, all the jokes that I thought were canned material, like they're solid jokes, but it's like weird. It's like I feel like the art of comedy is you have to like disarm your audience from letting them know that you're telling a joke, right? Like I think it's kind of like magic, right? Like with magic, there's no such thing as magic, right? It's just deception, right? So when you do magic, what you're doing is you're trained in having your target focus on something else while you do something else, right? So that's why a good magician knows how to make it look like magic when it's really not. So comedy, I think, is the same way, right? Like if you get on stage and people know that you're getting ready to tell a joke, the joke can be funny, but it's not going to be as funny as it can be if you disguised it to where it's just a conversation. Like you have to kind of like disarm people from thinking that you're even doing comedy, right? That's the hard part of comedy. Um, but yeah, but right now I'm working on but yeah, like I said, the jokes I did last year, like those are like jokes where it's like I would get in a room and I would kill with those jokes. But then, I had a comedian friend tell me, and it wasn't an insult. Like I actually was like really thankful that he told me this, but he was like, yo, I was watching your set, man. Like, yo, you're like way funnier than when I first saw you a few years ago. But he said, your material, man, he said, you don't have to do those jokes. Like those jokes, like you're funnier. Like he said, I'm more interesting than my jokes I was talking about. So I was like, wow. He said, yeah. He said, you're the type where you can just get up there and just talk. Well, I don't want to say just get up there and talk, but I can talk. I have to talk more about me and not other shit. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm doing. I have a process. I have a goal in mind of what I'm trying to do. And we gonna get it. We gonna get it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I have no shows lined up right now, but when I do, hey man, pull up. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow me. Before we move on, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Tell a friend to tell a friend. And subscribe, do all that fun stuff, do all that fun YouTube-y stuff. But also follow me on Instagram or all forms of social media at AT is where it's at. You know, AT is where it's at on all forms of social media. Follow me. You know what I'm saying? So do all that, and you'll get all the information. And like when I get a show, it'll be on social media. I'm saying pull up, laugh, pour up, do all that fun stuff. But without further ado, that's all, folks.